Yeah, it's really funny though. I think I played him. I played him twice today, or I played him 3 times today. That was the third time I played him today,
You
and this
played
is
me
the first
once
game you won.
yesterday, once today, and again
Oh,
with
once
him.
today?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
once
yeah,
yesterday.
Yeah, you guys have
Yeah,
like
I
a
forgot.
rivalry going.
No, I just played Negat whenever because he's the only person in the Looking for Game Discord or
Oh
channel.
yeah. Well, I've resurrected, so maybe I'll be around. But yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah, that's my fault. Basically, the moral of this story is, I mean, like of course, this is very experimental. This is the first time, like with
Hmm.
hardcore tournament rules that we've played this. I think so. I think here, the moral of this story. I thought Goblin Flankers would be way better. They are buffed. They still suck. That is the conclusion I made.
They're
The
Wait,
buffed.
Goblin
meta is
Flankers were
still
buffed?
bad.
Excuse me?
They were buffed by the format. They're
Oh,
buffed
you
by
thought they were better. I thought they were worse because of the format.
No, I think they're
Hmm.
better because of the format because what's it called? Before you could kind of just have a squire on every front square,
Oh.
but now you can't. So the flanker can actually maybe flank, but the reality is no, it's just too slow. It is slower than every archer.
To me, like, Goblin Flanker was like, hey, you're going wide. Hey, my flanker can kill your wide units, kind of.
Yeah, meh. I mean, that's how Goblin Archer is. Goblin Archer definitely got soft nerfed.
Goblin Archer definitely does that better,
Yes,
but
Goblin Archer did that job better. But no, Goblin Archer definitely got soft nerfed, but it is still
oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
Goblin Archer felt a bit worse this tournament.
Yeah.
All right,
Got soft
let's
nerfed
do a poll. Who definitively thought that 14 units was less fun slash enjoyable than having no unit restrictions?
Here, Should I post something in like that we could react to? Like, should we all like vote in
I
general or
will
something?
do it in feedback and ideas. I will
Okay,
say
there we go.
Okay, feedback and ideas.
you like
Yeah.
14 units. I'm posting it right now.
Man, I guess it's a matter of principle.
Well, it is like a hard restriction, which is like maybe something weird, but I thought it actually worked out quite well and still makes sense, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, and
If I see even a single thumbs down, I'm throwing my mic against the wall and screaming.
yeah, okay, and then we have an equal. That makes sense. That works.
Patrick,
Blank.
Patrick,
The
is
out of
I
box
can't
move.
even see that. It's gray against gray, so you just
It's
posted
neutral.
it.
It's
Blank.
okay, Keith. Turn on Discord light mode.
No.
No. No.
Man, I think there should be like a discussion around this as well, because it's hard to
there
say.
should be.
It's hard to say like what's better. Like 14 was a lot of fun. There was a lot of math, and you could get some better units. But I feel like the game should also be fun at 18. The thing that doesn't make it fun at 18 necessarily is the fact that you can squeeze so much more value out of 18 low like cost units versus the value you can get with like higher cost units, and that might be a problem with like balance more than anything. But if you said like the game is balanced at 14, then that would fix that problem. Like,
Yeah, basically.
I have a huge problem with 18 where it's like I'm drafting 2 golds and it's just to pass them. And literally we'll go like 5 turns of I pass, you pass,
Yeah,
I
it's
pass.
not.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
really that interesting.
And it's still a problem at 14.
Yes,
It's even
still-
worse at 18.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
like
say
that's
it's
what I experienced.
Yeah, it
Well,
still
that's-
happens, but I wouldn't say it's much of a problem anymore.
Yeah, it's not really a problem anymore.
yeah.
I mean, for me,
Well, in my game against Gravy, we just passed 5 times or something.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, like to me, the purpose, like the thing about this game, the primary idea of this game is that all of your units can do multiple things depending on what your opponent does. So your objective is to keep as many options that you have open as you physically can. And passing a unit is just wasn't going to do anything. It's just clearly the best way to
Well,
do that.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is if two players are passing a lot against one another, then to me that also must mean that there isn't a clear attacker and a clear defender.
Mhm.
So, because if there was, I don't think that would happen. So, I don't really know how much of that is an action thing. It is partly an action thing.
No,
And that's
I think
mostly
it
a
means
gaff
that-
thing,
I
kind
think
of.
it means
Yeah,
that
it's a gaff thing.
attacking happens at the end of the round.
It's well, I think it's one of the base causes is you need to give someone an incentive to move out or not get punished. Like that's
Yeah.
basically what it comes down to. Like you have to make it so that the person moving first isn't getting punished badly.
If I got tactician, I got sentinels. Usually, I'm fast enough to take something, and we could trade units, and that's the incentive to go in. But if I'm playing Gath, like usually it's like, okay, maybe my dragon can go in, but I don't want it to die. Maybe my hatchling can go in, but it'll kill something less gold than it, and then it'll die.
Yeah, I mean, like for me personally, like I play like super aggro. Like I play a super aggro deck that gets to do less waiting. Actually, like it has to wait a lot, but it still
That's
does
like
a lot less waiting.
the madman who actually goes in.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, I solved the issue.
Oh,
I
nice.
solved the issue.
Kill
We're
Gath.
not gonna do 18 or 14 units anymore.
10.
The
One.
shield on the middle is going to increase by 1 every turn.
Oh my,
Oh my
Jesus!
What?
Every
Until somebody
turn?
takes it. Until somebody
Okay.
takes it.
Every turn or round?
Turn.
Jesus
Every
Christ!
turn?
That's awesome.
That's a change.
What?
Oh my god!
Well,
Oh
that
my!
could
I
That could
hate
be
that.
Please don't
I
do
hate that
that.
Jesus
so much.
inspired me to make this game. Let's respect his name. Thank you.
People,
Oh,
the
my
problem
God. Okay.
Draw
is
the
someone
spike
will
color
just
every
go in it and take the shield so it doesn't happen.
Wait, yeah.
They'll just make it like,
People
just
would just run a 2 gold unit as a
I
suicide.
mean,
happening.
if we want to get people to move, well, because then it would be funny because then it'd be kind of like a, I don't know,
Yo.
game of chicken. It's like who's gonna move out
Yeah.
first?
I think there should be more capture points. That's my idea.
Yeah, more
Yeah, we should
shields
add
out in
terrain.
the middle. I mean, we can do that. We can try to next tournament instead of having 14 units, want to just put 5 shields out, like 1 at each.
I have shields out in the center. Could be
Well,
interesting.
you know what the 5 middle.
oh
axes.
yeah, like the circle.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just one
Yeah.
one each. Same rules. There's just 5 instead of 1. I mean, we could do that instead of 14
Mhm.
gold
If you,
units.
I mean, like if you
It's-
wanted,
No. Please don't. Please don't. Because that's already
it does
really,
buff me.
It's hard for everyone because aggro lists get buffed. People that are
What do
trying
you
to
mean?
play defensive, like people that are like, okay, so my list is more defensive. It's trying to control the board.
It forces
slightly.
everyone to play more aggressively. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello?
and now the more like
Hello, we can hear you.
the more neurons firing that you have, like the more insane you are of a person that you're like throwing your cards forward. It's like the better you'll perform now. I don't think it benefits strategy. I think it only benefits like pure aggressive, like just go in and smash basically.
I know.
How about we all admit that Legacy's Allure is a perfect game with no problems now?
So wait. So honestly, if your objective is to incentivize aggression, like the way I see it is that the reason why people don't like to be aggressive is because at the end of the day, most units can really only do damage to other units once they move forward, like significant damage to the opponent's army once they've moved forward already, and then the other player cannot get what's it called? They cannot heal their own units until you attack them. So both players are incentivized to not activate anything until the other player does something, and that includes the attacker, right? The attacker is no more incentivized to go in than the defender. The fact that he has first turn actually just it does nothing for him. It is honestly probably bad. I've decided recently that as an aggro player, it's better to be the defender.
All right, I've decided to turn Legacy's Allure into an Advanced Wars style game with buildings to capture and gold to generate with the buildings.
So, I actually really like the central capture point over like side objectives. I think it like kind of like chess where it draws people towards the center. I think if you have side objectives, it might take away from flanking ability. It's just going to be like you're duplicating what's happening in the center of the board to the sides as well, so flanking no longer really exists. Maybe it kind of does. We'd have to test it out. But you could just incentivize the center even greater, like just have 2 shield or something, or maybe it generates one every round. I don't know.
What was Gravy's idea again?
Just
generate
more
gold.
capture points, so more like 1 shields in
Yeah.
the center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What empire? Wait, what did you
What
say,
if it
empire?
generated gold, and then with the gold you can draft more units?
Oh gosh.
No, it wasn't that. It was capture a building.
I mean, that
Yeah,
is what the summoner mode is.
Nice
Basically.
to have
No,
some
the
towers
summoner
in the
mode
game.
doesn't have buildings. It has collection points and where
One
the
idea
gold
is-
is.
I mean, to me, wait. So something else you could think about doing is make some units that give make more units that give shield. Like Angel encourages the opponent to be proactive because you can't just let an Angel stack shield forever. Like you can't. Like it's very bad if you let like you want to kill the things that the Angel can put a shield on, especially in the later rounds. Not as much in round one.
I will
But
say
you want to kill the things that the Angel can put the shield on before it puts the shield on them.
the best way to defeat an angel is to kill it quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Angel encourages people to play aggressively into
I
it.
think that you have to kill it quickly, not because of the shielding, but because of the resurrecting.
Yes.
Because of that, yeah. But also,
Yeah.
if you like kill something that's not it and they resurrect it, it could be very bad.
Yeah. Units like the Tactician, where there's no front cost to doing something with them, and then it gives you an advantage, so the other player is incentivized to attempt to not let you do that, and then the action that they do can make what you do next way more safe. Units like that are good for promoting aggressiveness. I know Tacticians and Erengard, they let players play more aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Catapult was too. It forced the opponent to move forward.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of things we'll be able to do in the future, I think, to deal with this. I'm just trying to keep it simple, so we'll try to avoid cards. I mean, what would be the ramifications of making the shield in the middle two shield?
2 shield. What do you think about that?
I would like Speed Robo's opinion first.
Yeah, so if we're talking about what making the shield in the middle 2 would do, I ultimately don't feel like it would do much. Pushing forward the shield has never really been that much of an encouragement. Let's get that squared away right out of the gate. And I don't think doubling it to just a mere 2 is going to do much. There's a lot of ways to disrupt that shield and get rid of it, be it, just archers, backstab, true damage, so on and so
Glade
forth.
Hawk.
Glade Hawk. I don't think the shield matters. I just
What
don't
if
think
it was
matters.
3?
Or you might see a lot of comps that want to just steal the center as safely as possible.
Yeah,
Or
like
just
okay.
single snap it.
So here's actually a good metric for it, right? 3 shield. We know what 3 shield is worth. 3 shield is worth 5 gold. The reason why we know that is that that's how much it costs to deploy that using an Archangel. Now, it's actually less than 5 gold because the Archangel is still a unit that provides actions.
It's a Kite Shield. 3.
So 3,
Kite
2.5.
Shield is 3.
It's actually 6, isn't it? Because you gain 3 and you deny your opponent 3, right?
So, sure, yeah, you can read it. You can read it that way, Gravy, and I do think that's a charitable reading, but I mostly agree with it. Because you are denying your opponent 3, so it is. I don't know. I would roughly say it's worth 5 gold.
I would say it's worth always moving a 2 gold to the center if you're player 1.
Yes, it is
moving a
worth
2 or
doing
3.
that. Now,
Yeah.
here's the follow-up to it, and here is, I think, in many instances, kind of the issue with the shield. You are making a movement forward. You're making a movement with a unit that is endangering that unit guaranteed no matter what. In addition, you are not applying direct pressure to your opponent. You are not dealing damage to anything. You are not generally debuffing anything when you do it. You're just throwing one of your units forward and saying, please punch this.
I think it's worth it for 2 gold at least, though.
For a 2 gold, yes. However, is that what we want?
Yeah, I would like a 2/5 squire.
No, I mean from a game design standpoint.
Oh,
Or
okay, yeah.
A 1/4 Gladehawk.
Yeah, from a game design standpoint, is that what we want? Because what you're doing is you are wanting to put out the least risky unit just to grab as much value as possible, as quick as possible.
No, yeah,
Which
I don't
again
think it
provides more incentive to run 2 golds. And I'm gonna be real. Seems like that's a thing Keith does not want to have happen.
I have an idea. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I was thinking that the other thing, like spreading them out, was probably better then, because then it doesn't make it so it's just one spot.
I liked Gravy's suggestion of having multiple capture points.
Yeah, spreading them out would be better than stacking it in one spot for sure.
Yeah.
You can have. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say you can have like incentives to go into combat, like have combat effects. Maybe like a creature that fights with something does X damage around it, or maybe it like gives it an extra action when it combats. Or you could have like promotion units if they get to the end of the board or something, they get a bonus or something, like a pawn.
What about like stuff like this unit gains +1 power next round or something?
Well, that's basically the Troll Berserker.
Or like if it's positioned next to an enemy or something, maybe you get that bonus.
It feels like it still
idea.
just encourages your opponent to not fight you.
I don't know.
Starting with the second round, every unit still in the deployment zone takes 1 pure damage.
No.
There you go.
They all die.
Problem solved. Problem solved.
What? That feels
like
very
these.
rough. Oh, yes.
Just
Do it. I hate the
Just
frost
kidding.
maiden.
No, actually, it couldn't be
That's
pure
hilarious.
damage because I'd want it to be like 1 physical damage, but then it can't reduce damage below 1. Anyway, it's
So then,
no,
do
no.
we do like damage to the game itself? if we have,
I'm
like, a
tired of
Minotaur?
giving Keith ideas. I think I'm good.
So great. Well, let's try something for next week. So, who would like to just stick with 14 units because this is kind of working or fun, or we could even go down to 12. That'd be fun. Go down to 12 if you wanted.
I'm happy with 14.
14.
I think.
Or we
can.
can try something else. When is I just given the current cards, I just don't know when you wouldn't. Okay, actually, if we're gonna go with an arbitrary ad hoc restriction. Listen, Speed Robo, I'd like your opinion on this.
All right, yeah.
Because you know Yu-Gi-Oh really well, which is the best design game of all time.
You could make an argument for it. I wouldn't agree with that argument, but you could.
Keith joke. Dude.
What if we're gonna make an ad hoc rule anyway? Why don't we just make the ad hoc rule be like you can only have 1 2 gold unit in your army, or something like that? You know what I mean?
Units are legendary.
Well, like like 2 in the like just make an arbitrary restriction on, or an ad hoc restriction on 2 and 3 gold units.
Mhm.
Just there you go.
We could even
Could
do
be good.
all units
Could be
are
fine.
unique, right? So like your whole army would have to be made out of
Singleton.
single
Yeah.
cards.
A singleton
Well,
format.
I mean, the thing is, Gath is just going to take all 3 of their
2 golds.
2
Probably.
golds, and
Well, yeah, because I mean, what else are they going to take? They get
But
their
I
think
mid-range units.
everyone might do that actually.
Yeah,
But
everyone.
anyway, what do you think of that Robo? Just like putting
I
ad hoc
absolutely
restriction on.
no. I absolutely hate it. It just makes armies less unique and less interesting.
Oh,
Because
like,
it's just railroading people into like, okay, if I'm only allowed 2 gold, this is the 2 gold I'm going to take. Or if I'm only allowed one of each 2 gold, I'm just going to grab them all, right? Like, it's just, no. I think
I
it just
agree.
kills creativity.
I
Bad
really
plan.
liked the feel of 14.
Also makes the
Who-
drafting harder.
I agree.
14.
Who who was it that said that Black Dragon is overpowered? Empire. Does anyone agree that Black Dragon is overpowered?
Maybe.
actually.
I want to see its results more. If Empire says it, I'm inclined to believe it. Empire's got a good head on his shoulders. He knows the game really well. He's one of the best players. If he's smelling something that's OP, I choose to take that as a canary in the coal mine. Personally, though, it's one of those things where I want to see it shake out a little bit more. Black Dragon did a bunch of work
Brian,
against me today.
If
I'm
I can,
probably just unsure about what you do as Aaron Guard versus like Black Dragon because they were getting the same result as like what it was Ironhoof Minotaur. You just constantly blow up the backline of squishy 1 to 2 HP units.
There's not great counters in Aaron Guard for it, I guess.
There's no
You got a
counter
7
that
gold
exists
unit.
for it.
Yeah, even the 7 gold Spellbreaker isn't really a counter, to be fair.
Even silence is like it's okay.
You need kind of.
We thought about it and maybe
guess.
Tempest Mage because that could actually exhaust the dragon and it's annoying. You can't undo exhaust.
I don't think Black Dragon is overpowered. I think there's options to exhaust it. I mean, heck, even taunting Satyr.
Haunting Satyr's very annoying for dragon because you have to draft it back 1 hex.
Yeah.
I think Sylvan's fine against it. Aaron Guard
Sylvan's
might
fine,
have
yeah.
some troubles.
I don't really. Is it that bad? I mean, I know that Spellbreaker isn't this like hard counter, but it's nothing's supposed to be a hard counter in this game. But it's still, to me, if you force them to use up their precious Troll Doctor mana, that's significant because you.
I don't think
Yeah.
you Troll Doctor heal the silence though. Silence isn't really that impactful.
You just move it. Yeah.
Yeah, you just move it away, wait till next round, and
I
they
have a
burn the
question.
mana.
If Black Dragon was like 18 or 20 gold, would you still play it?
I think it's pretty solid at 16. I would just like
Here's-
to think about
Just
some
asking you
counters.
to play
Well,
it.
here's the other thing. Why, like on Tristan to me is really good against Black Dragon. If you can exhaust Black Dragon, if you also Felguards, I think is good against Black Dragon.
I do think Tristan does have a nice matchup where if he can just shield bash it, it'd be pretty nice.
And
but
even like what Aurelia, what if you go first in Glory? Like that's massive. You still have an extra action.
the Glory one's a lot harder because you got to steal first.
Yeah, you got to steal first turn and be next to the Black Dragon, and they know you want it, and they know that if they go first, they get to eat your hero.
Which is why we're thinking of Tempest Mages.
But
Yeah,
Black Dragon has 4 movement. Like how are you setting that up? Is my question. I don't know.
It has to be after the dragon moves in, right?
Yeah, you have to.
You
This
have
is
to-
the thing, right? Is that like, yeah, the way you deal with everything in this game is you wait for it to be dumb, or not be dumb, but you have to wait for it to like
exhaust.
attack you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to wait for it to move aggressively, and then you. This is kind of like being. This entire game is kind of like being a matador. You wait for something to run by you, and then you
Yeah.
stab it.
Hey, Rat, I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate everyone's opinion. Patrick, you have the floor. Go ahead.
what?
Speed Robo was feeling the overwhelming awkwardness of not hearing Patrick speak.
Right.
Yeah.
If I can put a counterpoint out for why Empire thinks Black Dragon is strong. Everyone runs so many 2 and 3 cost units that have 2 health. That Black Dragon is just naturally going to feel stronger than it is because Black Dragon deals with that fine. If you really think about it, like Tristan does well. Knights can do well. Any form of disarm on the Black Dragon does well because now it doesn't have 5 power. You can hit it for damage for 3. Tempest Mage does well. When you're talking about Sylvan, they have backstab, so they can stab it forever. Talking about Gath, they have like a cave troll. They can just hit it and they don't care. They have Scourgs. Like there are answers to Black Dragon. It's just it feels stronger than it is because everyone's running all these super cheap units that Black Dragon can deal with easily.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like if you increase the costs, people just stop running it.
Yeah, I already don't run it.
I think Black Dragon is fine because if you really think about it, there are ways to stop Black Dragon from doing stuff.
Well, someone was running 2 Black Dragon list. I think it was Empire.
No, it's
Gravy.
Gravy.
Yeah.
So how did that fare? Like, what was your experience like?
That was me.
Oh, it was Mufasa.
Yeah, and Moon
this
won
tournament.
with a tall build where he had less actions than his opponent.
Yeah, though I realized it was 11 actions versus 13, so it's not that much taller, but
Actually, it was more because I even went second, which means I had an additional action on top of that.
Hey,
Kind of.
right. So it was pretty even, I guess. Well, evenish.
No, I mean, so you had 11 units, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had 13 units, and you had to go first, which means you're taking the first action. So the action disparity is even 1 action wider in my favor.
What was
Yeah, that's what I
playing?
mean.
I was playing Sylvan with Caladrix.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry, that's not
so
what
no
I meant,
plus 1
but yeah,
action.
you're right.
Did he have Battle Fury Carthel?
No, Argog.
Argog. Ooh, I love it. Did you give him movement speed boots?
No.
No, he didn't.
You're a loser.
Hey.
I went against. Oh, also I went against the Green Dragon, which was very interesting because that typically is seen as like the hard counter, right? To the Black Dragon. But I don't know. I think it was fine. Like I think that was a pretty even matchup. It was close at the end. I definitely think there was potential for Speed Robot to win that.
all right, so I need to get going, but would anyone like to do something other than 14 units next tournament?
No, I like 14. 14 makes sense to me.
Would be cool to try it a little bit more because I like the idea. Just gotta test out the format a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement.
Is 12 too little? I think 12 is probably too little. There's just not enough.
No, yeah. At that point, it's just heavy knights.
I mean,
Yeah, 12 is probably too little.
It's just a billion heavy knights.
And 13's like
why would it be a billion heavy knights?
Because you
heavy knights
clearly
get
run
countered by things like Cave Troll.
Because you clearly run Aaron Guard.
No, what?
You would go.
Clearly run Aaron
Guard's
Guard.
not better than anything else. I didn't see any indication today from going to 14 units that one faction is better than the other.
That's fair. I do. I am now of the firm belief that Aaron Guard is better, but I can't play Aaron Guard, so I'm not going to try.
That's right. You're metaphysically restricted from
I
Aaron Guard.
just suck at playing anything that is not Gath. I can't physically do it. They're not aggressive enough.
You gotta play it more.
That's true, but I won't.
Different play styles.
He plays based on the theme.
Yeah, I play thematically. I like Argog going fast and becoming an assassin. It's funny to me.
I would like to interject for a bit.
No.
Here is why I like 14 unit restriction. Number 1, it does the main thing that Keith would like to have happen in the game. Number 2, like Empire stated, it reduces just errant skipping between both players. Number 3, with 14 unit cap, you can play 11 to 12 unit tall lists, and it is now viable because you won't have an action disparity of 8. And if you still want to play a bunch of small swarmy flanker guys and go 14, you can, and that is also equally viable.
Yeah, I think the balance is currently designed around like 14 to 18 units. Like Black Dragon's great, like Patrick mentioned, because of all the small swarmy units, but if you go to like 12 units, Black Dragon suddenly doesn't have much of a purpose because no one's running swarm anymore.
This might be like a really minutia point, but has anyone noticed that their heroes are becoming much larger than they were before?
Yeah, with 14 gold, that happens as well because we need some bulk, and heroes are the easiest ones to get your investment back on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This question is not directed towards me. Clearly.
Oh, no.
I mean, I already go max.
Mm-hmm.
So I physically can't bring more.
Mm-hmm. No.
So,
I'm noticing that my
can't do
heroes have gone from like maybe 8 to 9 points to like around 12 to like 13 gold sometimes, and I'm curious like that seems to be happening in every match, that there's bigger heroes, and which is really cool because you get to like see your like queen piece kind of grow in terms of importance and value. But there might be a case to be made that like 15 is right where it should be, because then you could say like, instead of being forced to have gold in my hero, maybe I can put that gold into like a unit on the map, because it seems to always be like above 10 gold in the hero right now.
I
you could give
drafted
up.
8 average, I think, but like I think there's definitely potential to keep boosting up units, but I mean somewhere around 14 you could play around with for sure.
Yeah, because if you don't build hero tall, you can just you just draft bigger units, compensate for it.
The reason I don't think 12 would be a problem is that that's what the precons are designed as, and it works fine.
Oh yeah,
But
cool.
I do understand that people might want a little bit more leeway. So anyway, I'm ashamed that the game was not perfectly balanced and designed in season 1 to accomplish every last goal I wanted.
You should be.
And I am now going to slink off into the shadows and maybe scream into a pillow.
Hi, Keith. We love you.
What's the point to keep changing it?
I'm just thinking things like, okay, actually, no, the 14 gold restriction, the nice thing about it is it works perfectly with paper too. Like if we decide, no, this is really the way the game needs to be for season 1 because we made a boo-boo, then just saying 14 units, it's not that hard. It's not that bad. Does anyone think it made drafting... I personally did not think it made drafting much worse at all because I never liked drafting wide anyway. So for me, it was not really an issue.
When I say it made drafting more difficult, I mean I had to do some math at some point in the draft.
I mean, like I had to do tons of math. I did tons of math.
That's also because you guys aren't used to the format. You're used to having 80 gold, or you're used to having 18 units.
Well honestly, I didn't mess up my draft besides one game. I only messed up one time.
Yeah, I mean, once you get used to the format, it'll be absolutely fine.
Red and
I think
I
it's just learning.
I came in with a plan
for like 3 games. Red and I have been practicing for 3 games, so we got used to it. We felt like we had an advantage because we knew that we would have had like counters. So we were playing draft like normal, how you kind of like counter what the other person drafts, except that what we would do is that we would kind of put those units at the end of the draft, and we would have a calculator out, and we'd go like, all right, 80 minus like, say I wanted to put a battering ram out, 80 minus 11. Okay, so at like 69 gold, I have to draft a battering ram, and once I get close to 69, I have to draft like I have to draft this, and then at the same time you'd keep track of your like leftover slots. So
I would always have like a calculator reading whether or not the thing that I was about to draft was above average for everything else I could draft, or below average for everything else I could draft, and then using that knowledge, I would make more decisions. So I was like, if I'm drafting Hellbear, or if I want to draft a Hellbear eventually, and the average gold I need to spend is 6.9, then I know I cannot buy a Troll Berserker. I know I probably shouldn't be buying a Warg Archer. I should probably be buying something else. And likewise, if I was like, okay, well, the next thing I'm going to get is Goblin Bomb, then I could lower that average. But it was really hard to do that mental math. It would be virtually impossible, like, to do those averages that quickly.
Patrick, did you have an opinion?
On what?
The, whether it was harder to draft?
No.
I will take that to mean that it was not harder to draft.
For me, at least, no. I can speak for other people, but no. I pretty much just drafted what I was going to draft anyway.
What was your team comp if you focused on drafting 12 each game?
Double Heavy Knights, Tristan with Felguards.
Oh.
Probably a short sword, 2 longbow archers, 2 priests.
I really had fun with Tristan with Felguards. It was very fun.
Tristan is very fun hero.
Tristan is very
I forgot in my first game that he had steadfast, and I put him like in this more protected position instead of in the front, and then I was like, wait a second. He has steadfast.
Steadfast is really cool.
He basically comes with bulwark boots. It's very good.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you everyone for joining this tournament, and congratulations to Speed Robo on the successful opening of his game store.
Congrats. What are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
You doing good? You doing good, Speed Robo?
Oh, we're doing really well over here. We cleared the first 2 weeks. You know, that initial 2-week hurdle. We're over that. We've got another business loan coming in the next week. So
I hope you keep doing good.
If anyone is in Mattoon, Illinois, visiting their great aunt, go to Space Boat Games and pick up some Yu-Gi-Oh packs.
For sure. That's
Wouldn't
actually
it be awesome one day to go fly out to Speed Robo's game store and play Legacy Allure?
Yeah, you know, honestly, we could host like a world tournament here if you wanted.
Yeah,
that would be scary.
The problem is you'd have to fly.
We will probably be hosting it near an airport and not the Mattoon regional. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
I like it. There's actually a lot of really nice venues around here. If we did want to hold a big Legacies Allure tournament, I would love to.
Would be cool.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm excited for getting the game in. By the way, I don't know exactly how much I'm willing to share, but since everybody here's a cool guy, I'm going to divulge a little insider information. The product is in a rail yard in Chicago.
Nice!
Rail yard.
If I go to Chicago right now, I have a good chance of just stealing mine.
Everyone else's.
I'm not going to tell you which rail yard. Right now, we're working with our logistics company, and we're trying to get a truck allocated to bring it to my warehouse. We don't know how long that's going to take, to be completely honest with you guys.
Don't worry, I booked my flight, and you will be interrupted shortly.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to that. Genuinely, that would be amazing.
Hold them hostage at your store, so we have to come there to get it.
Yeah, you know what? In-store pickup.
There's a lion outside the building.
We get our shipping costs back.
Yeah, Allure.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Great tournament today. I had a
Yeah.
blast.
Great tournament.
All right, I'm gonna head out as well.
See you guys.
Yep. Later, guys.
See ya.